Timotab, and today I'm going to solve Nautlius by Oddlyeven. This is a beautiful looking puzzle and I'm really looking forward to it. If you would like to try solving this puzzle for yourself, it'll be the first link in the description. Let's have a look at the rules. Normal Sudoku rules apply, so we're going to place the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Shell. Box borders divide the shell blue line into segments that add to the same sum. Different segments in the same box sum individually. So these 3 digits will sum to the same value as those 2 and the same value as those 3. Even though these 5 cells are all in the same box, we're explicitly told that they are separate line segments and so sum to the value individually. Okay. Tentacles. Adjacent digits along a tentacle green line differ by at least 5. So if this were a 3, this would have to be an 8 or a 9 to be at least 3 from it. Fish. The pink line consists of a set of consecutive non-repeating digits in some order. So we're going to place different digits along this pink line in some order. And that set of digits will have to be consecutive. Eyes. Digits on an eye, a black dot, are in a 1 to 2 ratio. So if this were a 1, this would be a 2. If this were a 2, this could be a 1 or a 4. Okay. And bubbles. Digits on a bubble, white dot, are consecutive. So if this were a 3, this would be a 2 or a 4 to be consecutive with it. All right, that's all the rules. I am going to reset the puzzle to restart the timer, and let's begin. So I think the first thing I notice is that these 5 digits are all on one segment of line. The minimum values they can the minimum digits they can have are 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, so the minimum sum is 15. These 2 digits have a maximum digits of 8 and 9, which is 17. So our sums are the value for each segment is going to be between 15 and 17. Okay, let's talk about this green line, often called a German Whispers line. First of all, I can't put a 5 on a German Whispers line, because if I did, the next adjacent digit would have to be 0 or less or 10 or more, which aren't Sudoku digits. Secondly, we're going to alternate between high digits and low digits. So if I try putting 2 high digits adjacent to each other, one from 6, 7, 8, and 9, and the other from 6, 7, 8, and 9, the maximum difference between those is 3, which is less than the 5 required. Same if I put 2 low digits on. So these are going to be all of one type, and those are going to be the other. So either these will be either this will be low and these 3 high, or this will be high and these 3 low. Now, one more thing we need to talk about is the secret of Sudoku, which is because every row, column, and box contains the digits 1 to 9, then the sum of every row, column, and box is 45, because that's the sum of the digits 1 to 9. Now, we know that these 5 digits, between them, are at least 30. Because we know that individually, each of these line segments is at least 15. So these 5 digits are at least 30. That means that these 4 digits are at most 15. But if these are high digits, then they would be at minimum 6, 7, and 8, which would be 21. So they are not high digits, they are low digits. I'm going to mark those in blue and this in orange to signify that it is high. Now, that can't be a 6 because those would all have to be 1s. That can't be a 7 because those would all could only be from 1 and 2, and there'd be 3 1s and 2s there. So that is an 8 or a 9. And these are from 1, 2, 3, and 4. I can't... What's going on here? Right, I can't put a 5 onto this segment of line because the other digit would have to be at least a 10. So I've got a 5 in one of those two. 3. So but that can't be a 5 because I can't put a 5 on a black dot. Okay, I can't put a 1. Well, hang on. This is at least... this is from 6, 7, 8, or 9 because it's at least 15. We can actually do the same up there. But that can't be a 7 or a 9. So that... because again, I can't place half of 7 or double 7 or half of 9 or double 9 on the other side of the black dot. So that can't... Well, no, hang on. If that's 6, that would be 9. If that's 8... Okay, this can't be a 6 because this has to be at least 15. But that makes this 3 or 4. And that is our last low digit. That's very nice. That's very nice indeed. I like that a lot. Okay. Think about that a bit more in a moment. But here, so if that's 4, then that's 8. That's 9, and that's 7, and that's 5, 6, which would work with a 15 sum. If that's 3, that's 6. That has to be 9. That has to be 8. And that would be 7, which works with a 15 sum. Okay. So that's 5, 6, or 7. All right. If this is a 1, so we know we have 1 and 2 down here. So that can't be a 1 because that would make that a 2. If one of these is a 4, that has to be a 9. That would be 3. That would be 6. That would be 9. That's very nice. Okay, if one of these is a 4, in order to be at least 5 away from it, that has to be 9. But then that makes... this 7, 8. Is that right? Yes, if that's 9, that can't be 6 because that can't be 9. So that would be 8, but 8 divided by 2 is 4. But we've already said that 4 is over here. So 4 is not one of those. And so that is the 4. That is an 8. That is a 9. That's a 7. That is a 15 sum. And now that's a 4, that's a 3, that's a 3. That's very nice. Okay, now because we have that as 15, we know that they are 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Those are 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, that one's not a 4. All right. Okay, this line here must have a 4, a 5, and a 6 on it, because we've got 6 digits and we're taking a slice of 6 consecutive digits from 1 to 9. And so if we started at 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and if we started at 9, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. So 4, 5, and 6 are on that line. How does that help? Well, so there's definitely a 4 on the line, but those can't be 4 and those can't be 4. So either 4 is here or it's here. If that's 4, then that's 2. Then that's, if that's 4, that can't go, it could go 3, 2, 1, 4, 5, 6, 7. That could be 4. Okay. All right. So if 4, 5, and 6 are on the line, yeah, I can still have a 1 on there. But that couldn't be a 1, because then I'd have nowhere for that. You know, that would be a 2, and then it'd be nowhere for the 2 on the line. Okay. Those are from 6, 7, 8, and 9, because they sum to 15. All right. 3 cells summing to 15 are either 4, 5, and 6, or they're a low digit, a middly digit, and a high digit. So, the reason for that is if I had 2, and by low, middly, and high, I mean 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if I had 2 low digits on there, 2 and 3 say that's 5, then I can't reach 15 because I need a 10. If I have 2 high digits on there, then the minimum would be 7 and 8, because we're in this case defining high as 7, 8, 9, and that already meets 15. So I can't have 2 high digits on there. And if I have 2 middly digits on there, 4, 5, and 6, then the other digit is a 4, 5, and 6. So, with the exception of 4, 5, and 6, I can't have more than one of each low, middly, and high. So, if this is a low, middly, high, then it is 9, and then 2 digits that add up to 6, which would be 1, 5, or 4, 2, or it's 4, 5, and 6. Right, well, this can't be 4, 5, 6. Okay. So this can't be 4, 5, 6 because we've got a 4, 5 pair there. But we must have a middly digit, so we do have a 4 on there. And now this can't be 4, 5, 6 because there's a 4 here. So this has to be low, middly, high, and it can't have an 8 or a 7 on it, so it has a 9 on it. It can't have a 4 on it, so it can't be 4, 2, so that must be 1, 5. That's 1, 5, 9. This now needs so 4 plus 8 would be 12, so it's 4, 8, 3, or 4, 7, 4. That doesn't make sense. So that's 4, 8, 3. Right. Okay. So these then must be 2, 6, and 7. That 2 makes that a 1 and that a 2. We can now pencil mark in some digits here. These are 9, 1, and 7. These are 3, 5, and 8. And these are 2, 6, 4. Okay. So if this was 9, these two would have to add up to 6, and there's no way to do that. So that's not 9. We do not have a 4, 5, 6 situation, so we definitely have low, middly, and high. So if that's an 8, that's probably our most restrictive. We need 6 for the other two. No, we need 7 for the other two. So that could be 1 and 6. If that's 7, we need 8 for the other two, which we can't do. Yeah, there's no way to make those two digits add up to 8. So that's a 1. And now these two digits need to add up to 14, which is 8 and 6. All right. That's very nice. So that's not an 8, which means that is not 7. Uh, okay. What's the best way to look at this? That can't be a 4, 5, 6. So it's a low, middly, and a high. So we've got one high digit there. We've got at least one high digit there. If that's 6, 9, hmm. If this is 7, 8, then that's a 9 in there with 2 digits adding up to 6. What about this line? What's going on here? Okay, can't be a 4, 5, 6, so it is a low, a middly, and a high. We've got a 5 or 6, and then we've got a 7 or a 9. So it can't be 6, 9. So if it was 6, it would be, if there were a 6 on here, it would have to be 7 as my high digit, and then that would leave 2 as my low digit. If it were 5 on here, um, 5 and 7 would be, yeah, that leaves a lot of options, actually. I'm not going to mark that. So neither of those can be a 9. Because if it were 9, that would be 8. And then that would break these 3. So 9 doesn't go there, it doesn't go there. If this were 8, then it would have a 7 or a 9, and then again that would break. If this had a 7 on it, it would have a 6 or an 8, and again this would break. So this doesn't have a 7, 8, or 9 on it. Okay. I need to look at this again. Perhaps. I know that's a low, middly, and a high. I know that one of those is a 4. I know that either that or that is a 4. Okay. This sequence here, is that going to break with this being a 4, 5, 6? If that were 4, 5, 6, then that couldn't be a 4 because that'd be a 5, 6 surrounding it. If it were a 6, yeah. If that were 4, 5, 6, then this would be from, that would be, then this would break. Okay. So that is a low, middly, high triple as well. So that could be 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, that can't be a 1. We've already established that. If that were 2, that would be 3, 4, 5. That would be 2. That would be 1. Okay, if that were 2, that would be 1. But my line would not have a 9 on it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Would have a 7 on it. If that were 2, that would be 1. That would be 9. That would be 8. And that would work, I think. That would be the 4. Feel like I am missing something glaring. So if that's not 7, 8, and 9, could it be 6? Could there be a 6 on there? It would then be 6, 5, because it couldn't be 7, 8, or 9. We know that, yeah, that could. What am I missing? There's something clever about this fish, I think. All right, I am going to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. See if this is going to help any. See, that could be 5, 6 pair. That would make that 6 and 7. Ah, okay. If this were a 5, 6 pair, so if this were a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 line, that would have to be a 5, 6 pair, that would have to be 6, and that would have to be 7. But where would 9 go in this box? Couldn't go there by Sudoku, couldn't go there by black dot. So there is no 1 on this line. So we have, if there's no 1, we get 5, 6, and 7 on the line, as well as 4. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right, so we have 4, 5, 6, and 7 on the line. So that can't be a 5, 6 or a 7 because that sees all of the digits on the line. Right. That's very nice. Okay. And so now that digit sees all the digits on the line. And if that were an 8, 9 would have no place to go because it couldn't go on the line because we didn't have an 8 on the line. So that's a 9. That's really, really nice. Just took me a little to spot it. And now we have an 8 on the line. 8's the highest digit. So 876543. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7. Okay, that's not 7. That's not 5 or 7. If that was 6, that would be 3 there, and 3 would have nowhere to go on the line. So that's not a 6. If that were a 3, that would be a 6, and 6 would have nowhere to go on the line. So that's a 4. That can't be an 8. That's a 2. That's not the 4. Those aren't 4 because we have now a 4 on the line. So that's a 1-4 pair. Okay, that's really elegant. I like that a lot. So this is either 4, 3, 2, 1, or 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. That 4 removes a 4 from there, and I think I accidentally removed a 3 as well. Okay, that 9 removes a 9 from there, which removes a 6 from there. Okay. So here, it can't be as high as a 5 now, because if it were a 5, it would have to go with a 6, and then that would break. So that's from 1, 2, and 3, and includes a 2. So that's my low digit. And that can't be a 2. Okay, if this were 1, that would have to be 14, which could be 9, 5. And in fact, where does 9 go in this column? It goes on here. So we either have 9, 5, 1, or we have 9 and 6 would be 9, 4, 2, but we can't do 9, 4, 2, so that's a 1. Right. So that 5, 9 removes the 5 from there. That makes that 5. Those are not 5s. That 5, 9 makes that 6, so that's 5. Those are not 6, so that's a 3, 7 pair, making that the 6. And then these are 3 and 8 in some order. Very, very nice. So that's not 1 or 2. That gives me a 3, 5 pair in the column. So that's not a 5. That's not a 3. That's not a 3 or a 5. Okay. That's 6, makes that 8. That's 7. That removes 7, 8 here, because that still needs to add up to 15. That places 8 on this line. My low digit can't be a 1, because then I'd need a 6 to go with it as my middle digit. So that puts 1 in one of those two. If my low digit is a 2, then I get a 5 as my middle. If my low digit is a 3, I get a 4 as my middle. So 8, 2, 5 or 8, 3, 4. That's 7. Makes that 9. And that's 7, which places a 7 here. So that's not 7. That's 6 and 7. So that's not 7. That's not a 6. Eight in this box goes there. That's 9. 5, 9. That 9 makes that 6 and 9. So that's 8. That's a 6, 7 pair. That's not 2 or 4. So in this row, that's 3 or 5. Because it can't be an 8, and we now have a 3, 5 pair in the row. So that's an 8. Okay. The high digit on this line, because we need a low, middle, and a high, cannot be 8, and it cannot be 9. Therefore, it is a 7. That makes this a 1. That's a 2. That's a 3. And now we need a 5 in order to make that to 15. So that's a 7, 5 pair. This is 6 and 9. And I don't think we know the order yet. That 3 looks down, makes that 5. That's not a 2. Those aren't 1s. That's not a 1. That's not 2. That's not 4. That is a 4 because it's not an 8. So that's a 1. That has an 8 looking at it, so that's a 3 and an 8. Okay. I need a 1 in this row. Actually, let's clear that up because of this one. So yeah, I need a 1 in there, and it's not one of those two. So that's a 1. So that's a 5 or a 7, and by the box, that's a 5. So that's 7, making that 5. This 7 makes this 3 and 7. I need a 2 and a 4. That gives me a 2, 3, 4, 5 quad, making that 9. These are 3 and 6, which we can place. That 3 makes that 5, which makes that 3. This can no longer have a 3 on it, and I needed a 4 to make that add to 7 to go with 8, so that's now a 2, 5. So that makes that 4. That's 2. 4, 2. That 2, 5 pair in the box makes that 3. This is a 1 and 4, which we can place. That makes that 4. That 8 makes that 3 and 8. So that's 2. 5, 2, 3. I get a 6 here and a, oh, nope. And a 7 here. That makes that 6, 7 and 2. That's a 9, 5 and a 1. And 6 and 9. That's gorgeous puzzle. Loved it. Love the artwork. I'm going to remove the colouring. Oh, that wasn't what I wanted to do. Remove the colouring. There we go. Yeah, no, that's a gorgeous puzzle. Artwork's fantastic. The way the Nautilus shell resolves is great. The way these digits force how these go. And then I think it's a little bit easier if you already know the trick about low, middle, and high, or 4, 5, 6 for 15 lines once you've determined that it's a 15. Because that certainly helps a lot. Well, if you like this solve, then please hit the like button. You can subscribe to see some more, and I would love to hear your comments. I'm looking forward to next time. Be seeing you.